What is up, new UNE and vultures? I am just a simple Newtype, and in this episode we are returning to After Colony Gundam X. Last time the new UNE destabilized Asia, causing the nation of Astartes to give in to their demands. The Frost Bros sent a bunch of elite soldiers after Garrod, and each one fell. Also, Anil went back to Saints Island to find it under new UNE occupation. This time the Frost Bros send a Newtype to take down the Gundam. The two betray Newtype Labs and Jamil. Tifa is kidnapped and taken into space, and Garrod chases after her and fights against the SRA. So let's get into this. Tifa is having a horny dream and wants Garrod to express his feelings to her. She wakes up Jamil asking if she could find Newtype Labs for them. Roy is upgrading his Gundam. Garrod's working on his Gundam and has been ignoring Tifa. The Frost Brothers are recruiting Abel Bauer to take down the Gundam. This time they are recruiting a Newtype, but Abel has yet to awaken his Newtype potential. He is a Flash System compatible Newtype, unlike the brothers. Shaggy says that many have awakened their powers on the battlefield, so maybe the same will happen to him. Good luck! He was stationed at Saints Island before this. Meanwhile, at Saints Island, Anil is seeking justice for her ex by attacking a new UNE base. This is now under new UNE's occupation. She is piloting the Genis Kai Anil L Custom. The RMS 006G Genis Kai Anil Custom is a modified Genis Kai with enhanced sensor range. This mobile suit has a redesigned head unit and can outperform new UNE and SRA mobile suits. Weapons include two machine cannons in the torso, a 100mm machine gun, the Octape Kai's beam rifle, and a giant bazooka. The Doc thinks Tifa's need for affection is messing with her Newtype powers. New UNE approaches and the boys launch. Roy's unit is still getting upgrades. He is mad for timing this upgrade poorly. Abel fights the Frieden crew and the Rasvet. The NRX-016 Rasvet is developed by the new UNE and is equipped with the Flash system. This allows the unit to control bits, specifically the bit Rasvet. These are unmanned mobile suits that are fully functioning Rasvets. These are used to overwhelm the enemy with numbers. Weapons include a rifle and a beam saber. The Frost Bros pull back to make it harder for Abel. Tifa could sense him on the battlefield. Suddenly, the bits are activated. He has activated the Flash system and has awakened his Newtype potential. Garrod and Wits lose ground. Jamil launches in GX to help. They have to attack the main unit, but they all look the same. Garrod distracts the bits, but they surround DX and assault him with beam attacks. Tifa heads to the deck and uses Newtype stuff to show Garrod which unit is Abel. As he falls towards Earth, he throws his beam saber at the Rasvet and critically damages his mobile suit. The Frost Bros tell him to retreat. Jamil throws the harmonica at Garrod and tells him to ride that harmonica, bro. Abel knows it was Tifa's fault and he charges at her, but Garrod stops him. The Frieden crew heads back to the ship as they retreat. Later, the Frost Bros point a gun at Abel. Remember, a few episodes back, Sal mentioned that a Newtype just has to activate the Flash system. But even more petty, the brothers are a little jealous of the Flash system Newtypes. We will learn why in the next episode. They kill Abel. Garrod looks after Tifa. Since Anil attacked new UNE on Saints Island, she is being hunted down. Nicola Fafis is keeping an eye on her and wants to bring her in on his plan. Bloodman thinks that there are spies amongst the new UNE. The Frieden is looking for Newtype Labs. Even Jamil doesn't know much about it. Sal shows off the new Gundam Leopard Destroy. The GT-9600D Gundam Leopard Destroy is the repaired Leopard after being destroyed by the Gable. The Gatling gun is replaced with a twin beam cylinder, which can fold out. This could still mount optional missile pods on the arms and legs. The unit also retains the rollers in the legs and can dock with the G-Falcon. Other weapons include a pair of chest Gatling guns, homing missiles, a pair of head beam guns, a cannon in the right shoulder, 11 missile pods also in the right shoulder, a wrist beam gun, a beam knife in the right leg, and a heat axe. Tifa sketches Garrod. Nicola takes Anil to a bar where she meets people like her. Shaggy heads to Newtype Labs and meets with Karen, who gives him a backhanded compliment about being an undesirable Newtype. Shaggy wants to allow the Frieden into Newtype Labs and catch them in a trap. Meanwhile, Orba heads to the nearest Bandel and tells the new UNE commanders that Newtype Labs are in contact with the Frieden, and they are traitors. The Frost Brothers are screwing over Newtype Labs. Nicola is currently heading to Newtype Labs. Tifa has a premonition and thinks she will never see Garrod again. Now's the chance to say you love her, bro. Any minute now. It's getting all Macross in here. Karen allows Jamil into Newtype Labs. They think it is a trap, but he goes anyways. Karen believes that Newtypes will be used as weapons, but this is the reasoning that destroyed humanity during the war to begin with. She thinks that Newtypes are products birthed the war. Jamil once saw through time, and it showed a future where humanity thrived. This is what gives him hope. He says he will destroy places like this. That is when the new UNE attacks the Freedom. Garrod and the boys launch. Roy shows off his new upgrades to Valiants that get too close to the Freedom. The Frost Bros regroup and betray Karen and Newtype Labs. The two brothers are mad that they were cast out because they weren't Flash System type Newtypes. Their abilities to communicate instantaneously over long distances is something that should be studied, but they don't because they can't control the Flash System. New UNE seems to put Newtypes in a box. The two destroy Newtype Labs. One man wants Nicola to continue Operation Verbena. He helps get Jamil back to his ship. Jamil gets into GX. Meanwhile, Nicola sneaks onto their ship and steals Tifa. Garrod finds out and chases after her. Bloodman is mad that the Frost Bros made moves on Newtype Labs and puts a stop to it. Garrod is too late. Nicola and Tifa launch into space. He cries out for Tifa. Shaggy tries to destroy the Freedom and Jamil fends them off. The Frost Brothers are told to retreat and don't end up killing the Freedom crew. Why? I guess the story has to happen. Tifa is determined to return to Garrod. The crew asks Garrod where Tifa is. He just cries. That isn't helping, use your words. They don't know how to get into space, but Jamil knows of a spaceport nearby. They meet with Anil. She tells them of Nicola's plan to return to space and SRA with Newtypes. They already have control of the base. Anil decided to stay on Earth. She says to Garrod, "If I can't have your body, kid, you better go save Tifa so she could have it." Jamil thinks of his old nemesis, Lance Rowe Darwell. Bloodman sends Admiral Kazak and his team to intercept the base. The base doesn't want to take Garrod, but they offer him the Gundam. Jamil knows that they stole new UNE mobile suits to take back to the colonies to study. They should also study DX. They agree to let him join. The alarms go off. New UNE approaches. The Freedom will protect the base. They begin their assault led by the Frost Boys. The Bandal fires a megaparticle cannon and takes out the hangar. The ship somehow survives and takes off. The Freedom crew decides to ram the Bandal. The bridge crew escape. But what about the hundreds of others on the ship? Garrod makes it into space. Meanwhile, Tifa makes it to the colonies. The colony on the dark side of the moon was never affected by the war, and they live a lavish life. Controlling the colonies is Seidel Rasso, who never expected Nicola to come back with good news. We will learn that this will actually be a problem for Seidel, but he believes that Newtypes are born in the colonies. The commander of the Bartok is Narar Gamo. The Bartok-class ship is a basic cruiser that SRA stole from the new UNE forces. This has a few double-beam cannons and one hangar. Nicola shows off Tifa to Seidel. He thought no new types can be born on Earth. Narar contacts Seidel and informs him of the Gundam. The commander tells him to go to military colony number 7 and deposit the Gundam first. They will keep the pilot prisoner for now. Of course, Garrod heard all of this. Out in space, some Genesis and Crudas are training. The RMS 006 Genesis is a mass production mobile suit developed by SRA, and it was their main mobile suit during the 7th Space War. Remember, the Kai variant is the ground variant, making this space use only. Weapons include 2 upper torso machine cannons, 2 torso Vulcans, a 100mm machine gun, a beam rifle, a heat hawk, a giant bazooka, and a shield. This is essentially a Zaku with a mustache. The RMS 019 Cruda is superior to the Genesis and has heavy armor that can take beam rifle attacks. This unit has a flaw in that there is an exhaust opening in the front which destroys the unit if hit. Weapons include Vulcan guns, beam cutters, and a beam rifle. These are under command of Captain Lancerow. Seidel contacts them and tells them to intercept the Gundam. He thinks that this may be his old friend Jamil. Garrod takes the captain prisoner and heads to his Gundam to make his escape. He ends up fleeing into the colony. Time to use beam weapons. Whoops, Garrod made a hole. Lancerow launches in his Cruda Custom. The RMS 019R Cruda Lancerow Custom is the exact same mobile suit, but with a different antenna and color. We learn that Lancerow and Jamil fought many battles against one another during the war. During the final battle, Lancerow lost his Newtype powers. Seidel refuses to believe that Newtypes can be born on Earth, and reject Tifa. Gotta dive deeper into that delusion, bro. Garrod mastered flying in space already, but he is outnumbered. They chip away at the Gundam's armor. Garrod uses some spooge. His unit isn't going to make it. Suddenly, someone piloting a G-Falcon attaches to the Gundam and takes off at great speeds. The GS-9900 G-Falcon is a high-speed support fighter developed by UNE for the 7th War. This functions as a support unit for Gundam-type mobile suits. It is made with lunar titanium and can perform atmospheric re-entries. One of these units was stolen by Satellicon. This has an A module, which is the cockpit and Vulcan guns, and is a mini-craft. The B modules contain weapons. These B parts can also be remote controlled. It also has a sub-arm to help with Gundam docking. G-Falcon is able to combine with Double X, Airmaster Burst, and Leopard Destroy. Weapons include Vulcan guns, 20 infrared micro missiles, and a scattering beam cannon. Lanceroar wonders if this is Satellicon. And that will do it for this episode. We finally made it into space and get to see more of the SRA side of things. But even they are rigid in their beliefs and refuse to accept that Newtypes can be born on Earth. SRA is taking on a more elitist approach, but they certainly seem no different from the new UNE. Next time, we learn more about Satellicon. I know the wiki calls it Satyricon. I refuse to accept that. We learn about Polysis, the G-Falcon pilot, and Lanceroar meets Tifa, who knows of Jamil. But that will do it for now, Newtypes. Remember, if you are a Newtype, don't tell anyone. You're just going to end up being used by the people. Peace.